Mina Aissatou Smile Cisse. As the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, they continue for the status update about the COVID-19 in the country. Sierra Network Day na the National Emergency Operations Center concerning the update. Let we listen to the official chairperson for the COVID-19 team in the country as they give the update and also respond to some questions.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's press briefing, 2nd May 2020. We have here in our midst the official spokesperson, Mr. Solomon Jamiru, and we have Major General Taluva and also Professor Fodesa as subject matter experts here in the room to help us answer some of these questions. So we will go straight to the official spokesperson who will give us a status report for COVID-19 for today.
Thank you very much, Harold. Again, we wish to convey our sincere condolences to the bereaved families. We continue to pray that the souls of those departed as a result of COVID-19 will continue to rest in peace. We continue to convey our love and our prayers to our healthcare workers, our doctors, our pharmacists, our nurses, our community health officers. We also continue to say thank you to our psychosocial officers and everybody who in one way or the other is doing his or her own part to complement what we do in the fight against COVID-19. And to all Sierra Leoneans, we wish to say thank you very much. As we head into the nationwide lockdown, we believe that this is a sacrifice that we are making as His Excellency the President has announced the enhanced measures. All of us will go through this together, and we hope and pray that these measures will help us to curtail the spread of COVID-19. Status update, 2nd May 2020. Total cumulative confirmed positive cases, 155. Total number of deaths, 8. Active new cases, 19. Active cases at isolation centers, 126. Cumulative recoveries, 21. Number currently in quarantine, 1,182. Number discharged from quarantine, 1,535. Before I will let Harold take the floor, we would recall that a day or two we have been having concerns about case 90, and we did promise that as the communications outfit of the EOC would also get into this issue. And at this point, I would wish to transmit into the public domain that we understand that case 90 has slipped out of the net. The security forces have intensified search for case 90, and we do believe that they have narrowed the scope to a particular area where they believe he could be, and we continue to support the security forces to ensure that that person is brought again into the facility that is supposed to be. Should there be need to speak to that particular issue, I'm sure we have the relevant agency here to speak to the issue. But at this point, the floor is yours, Harold.
Thank you very much, sir. Public notice for e-passes during curfew and full-scale lockdown. The National EOC issued e-passes to facilitate interdistrict movement of goods and persons on essential duties. The holders of these passes and the general public are hereby informed that interdistrict passes do not automatically qualify for movement during curfew hours and the pending 3 days national lockdown announced by His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio on 30th April 2020. The public is hereby informed that the National EOC is reviewing the list of all issued e-passes with a view to enable those that are eligible for movement during curfew and the 3 days lockdown. SMS alerts will be sent to all eligible e-pass holders, notifying them that their vehicles can move during curfew and the 3 days lockdown. The EOC shall also send SMS notices to those not eligible to move during curfew and 3 days lockdown. Security personnel checking devices can verify whether a valid pass is curfew authorized and not holders of inter-district e-passes that are not curfew authorized, and strongly advise not to go out during the curfew hours. For more information, please call our dedicated helpline on 055 117 117 or send email to epass@eoc.gov.sl. End of public notice. Now we will go to the question and answer session, and we will take rounds of 5 questions. Your name, your media house, before you ask your questions. Okay, I can see Lamana hand up. Lamana, can you ask your question, please?
Good morning once more. Understanding that case 90 was an individual who escaped from quarantine before he had his issue, his case that took him to Pademba Road. And I remember, I recall my first question was that information was that he was very violent with doctors at the isolation unit at Connaught Hospital. How did he escape? How did he escape? How did he actually escape? Was he actually given the required security, especially if you understand that
Please, can you bring some
he had an issue that took him to Pademba Road. How did he escape? Who should take responsibility as well?
Thank you, Lamrana.
Yes, any other?
And please, if you don't have the floor to speak, can you put your mic on mute? Thank you.
Any other question? Okay.
Yes, let me just ask again. I am Swali Orandi, I work for AYB. Still in relation with the case 90. Knowing the fact that case 90 is a prisoner, and he was tested positive but was never taken to any treatment center, but to an isolation unit at Connaught, and now he has escaped. One may want to say that this is something premeditated. How will you respond to that? He's a prisoner, tested positive, not taken to a treatment center, but a special isolation unit. So it's not something premeditated. Now he's escaped.
Okay. I'm seeing 2 participants hand up. Can you ask your questions, please? Auna? Auna, can you ask your question?
There is one here.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Smile.
I start to smile from Sierra Network TV. My own concern is the 3 days lockdown. I want to know what the government has put in place for quarantine homes concerning food. And also, I want to know what has the security sectors done to caution officers so that what happened the last time did not happen this time, like beating of people, throwing jelly cans. Also, I want to know what the government has also put in place, or I should say Guma Valley and Salwako, concerning the water crisis.
Okay, I'm seeing Rena Zando from World Vision. Rena?
Yes, thank you, Aaron. Good morning, everybody. My question is simple. When you look at the e-pass form that you fill, the option for an email is optional. It's either you give an email or you don't. So how is the pass system working? How do they transfer the pass? How would somebody know that your application has been qualified and you're getting a pass? Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yes, there are questions also from our Facebook page. Yema?
Thank you, Harold. Hassan Shaw says, why is the Ministry of Health and Sanitation not here to provide updates on case management? Abu Bakar Samura Kamara also asks, why are you not applying for the Madagascar medication?
Okay, that's all.
And Joe Phonic says, wanna give people them electricity and water for the lockdown.
Okay, for case management, we have the lead here. He will speak to those questions.
If they want any updates on case management, let them ask, I will answer, because I'm the technical lead for all the technical pillars.
All right, let me see if I could just, on case 90, first of all, thank you, Lamrana. I think you have always been pressing on this, and we did promise that we will look at this and come back, and we think that's why we're here. That's our duty, to make sure we inform the public as much as we could. How did he escape? Lamrana, you and I were not there. I am not privy to the mechanics this person may have employed to enhance his escape. I cannot speak to that at this moment, but I believe that the story around this would unravel in the coming days. We hope not weeks, but I'm sure that investigations are on, and as I said, the security personnel have intensified the search. Should this have been premeditated? I wouldn't say as well. We don't have evidence relating to that at this point. What we know is, and Lamrana, you have been asking about this, and we want to commend you because you always tend to dig and dig deep, and that complements us in a way. What we know is that he had moved. They had taken him from Connaught Hospital to the facility at Frobe College, and in fact, he also had with him 2 correctional facility guards. So how he would have slipped off the net, we couldn't tell at this point. We understand that those 2 correctional facility guards are also now in quarantine somewhere, but I'm sure that internally some investigations would be done so that the public would be further informed about all facts and circumstances material to this particular case. As an EOC, and the fact that we have always said we have people moving with a lot of asymptomatic cases, we don't want this to jeopardize the lives of our people. And so for us, it's a concern, and it certainly is a concern to the rest of Sierra Leone. So we would look at this and jealously guard it and make sure that this kind of thing would not repeat itself in the future. And I believe the security forces, having a thorough appreciation of what the health hazard this might cause and the security implications as well, they are very hard on this to make sure that this person is brought in as fast as possible. How would you know that you qualify for an e-pass or you have been granted an e-pass? So as we said, that telephone numbers are provided and emails are provided as well, depending on how you choose to be notified as to whether your application has been accepted or rejected. That is the mode that will be applied. But the preponderance of cases that we have would be that you would have notification by SMS text. But also, we could not preclude email notification as well. Once the consideration has been given to your application and the contacts are on the paper that you have provided, emails or your telephone numbers, I mean the persons who have given the approval or the rejection would look at the contacts that you have provided, and the necessary information will be transmitted either via SMS text or email or both could go concurrently. Harold.
Okay, thank you very much. We have some more, and there is a hand up. In fact, two hands up. Yes. Ezzy, you can ask your question, please. We can see your hand up.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm joining in from Japan. I want to know, how is the government going to ensure that money allocated for vulnerable groups during lockdown is properly utilized and not squandered by people?
Okay,
Thank you.
Yes, there is a second hand.
Did you get my question?
Yeah, yes. No, we've got your question.
Yes, easy. Yeah, we have taken note of it. We'll respond when we have the other messages, sir.
Yeah, okay. Yema, can you also go through your Facebook
Okay,
message?
so we have a question from Samuel Senesi. He says, are there any quality control checks being done on the test kits and PPEs used by the healthcare professionals? If so, which agency is responsible for carrying out those checks? And how satisfied is the EOC with the quality of the current test kits and PPE used at the treatment centers? And then Mahmoud Bari says, what is the status of the pass system? As people are applying but no response is being received. Jeremy Feld asks, when are you going to open up the Lunge airports? Usman Ibrahim Saw says, good day, our dynamic and proactive team for the good work. Kindly update us on the current status of our president and his entire family since they were on self-isolation. Secondly, what's the health status of the bodyguard who was proven to be tested positive of COVID-19? Samuel Senesi asks again, what are the measures used by the EOC to protect people living in care homes like St. George's from contracting the virus? West K Diplomatic Lands asks, what's the importance of the 3 days lockdown? Because new cases just keep going up and down. Emmanuel Lemore is asking, who is this case 90? If you want to capture case 90, you should give the public some information about case 90 so that people will help in the search for case 90. Thomas Roger says, can you please tell us at which stage Sierra Leone is now on the COVID-19 fights? And finally, from Alaji Amara Kabe, he says, why are you guys not giving the briefing in Creole? Not all are educated. All these big words are difficult to understand for most of us. And then we just had one from Joe Funny. He says, has any test been done on the prisoners to know if we have any other positive case? I'll stop there for now because there are several questions coming in.
Okay, thank you very much. We will do the responses now.
Okay, thank you very much again for your questions and your comments. We continue to appreciate them. How would government ensure that monies given towards COVID-19 are spent for the intended purpose? We just want to assure everybody that we have systems in place. We all know that government, through the Ministry of Finance, had, for example, announced account numbers, account details, and had made it very clear that monies contributed by the government of Sierra Leone towards COVID-19 fight would be lodged with those accounts. And monies also, donations that will be coming in from citizens here, from friends here or abroad towards COVID-19 fight would also be lodged into those accounts. We want to assure you that monies, the income and expenditure would be done within the framework of the public financial management system. And as an EOC, would also ensure and do all in our power to make sure that monies are judiciously used. Somebody spoke about when are we going to open up Lunge International Airport. As a government, and this is something we have been commended for by international bodies and other countries, that it seems as if the earlier closure of the borders, including Lunge International Airport, had helped us a great deal in the fight against COVID-19. So that is perhaps one area we have been able to get right, and we would jealously safeguard that particular area. The borders will remain closed for as long as necessary. The moment, the conditions, the facts and circumstances would advise us that it is about time you opened up the border areas, this government will not hesitate to take that decision. Unless and until the facts and circumstances advise us as such, those border areas, those points of entry would remain closed. How is His Excellency the President doing? His Excellency the President is doing fine. He cherishes and he wants to say thank you to all those who continue to keep him in their hearts and in their prayers. How is the Presidential Guard also doing? He is doing fine, and he also would say thank you for having him in your prayers and your thoughts. The importance of the 3 days lockdown, I'll leave it for case management, and we're privileged to have with us Brigadier Dr. Fudisa, who is a specialist in that area, and I'm sure he would wish to say a word or two about the need for the 3 days lockdown, especially with reference to how it curbs transmission. Brigadier.
Yes, I'll start with the first question that was asked on quality check for our test kits. Before this time, we have designated laboratories where we do our quality assurance checks. But with the closure of all airports, no flights coming in, we do our internal checks. We have the P3 laboratory that is run by the Chinese. We have another laboratory run by the Chinese military medical team at military hospital. So we do our quality check. That is more reason why sometimes we do 3 tests before we actually declare a test positive. So we do our internal checks. And notwithstanding, even we are keeping all our samples. We are going to recheck all the positives after this epidemic, and then we actually reject 10% of the negatives. That is international standards, so we are going to abide by that. And then for the 3-day lockdown, we are going to intensify on our case search. The surveillance system is going to be intensified, where we go actively into the community, various communities, to look for contacts and then test them. We'll make sure that we bring out all the positive cases. There are a number of scenarios we are going to implement, but that is at the technical level. But definitely the essence of the 3-day lockdown is to make sure that we intensify our case search and our surveillance system. I think that is that. Then the homes, is how do we make sure that transmission is not it's not encouraging the home, old people's home, for example. We are educating them. We actually emphasize IPC methods, infection prevention and control methods. So those are some of the things that we do. And then somebody is saying that, why do we not test all the prisoners? We cannot test all the prisoners. There are certain protocols that we use in testing. If there is a positive case, the close contacts will be isolated, and then we follow them up for 14 days. At the end of 14 days, we test them. So we follow standard protocols.
Thank you very much. And we Fambuda always done the talk, say, do you not to English no more? Wanna try as best as possible for talk Creole. And we recognize Dande. And somebody asked about the 3 days lockdown and talk about water, light, etc. Well, what would they talk about water? Before the lockdown, they start midnight today. Do you try forget now you use as much water as possible what you're able for drink? Because what you want to achieve that 3 days lockdown, now for make we all stay home as much as we can for 3 days and trust God say we experts then able for achieve something for we for 3 days. Not just the experts. The 3 days also they protect you yourself. Because anytime when you come on your house, you go na treat. You go market for buy something. You go na office for go work. You go inside poda or bus or take keke or okada. You don't know who that they meet inside it. You don't know who that get coronavirus, who that not get coronavirus. When you take 3 days, you sit on a host. Together as a country, we all the help for stop the spread of coronavirus. When you not gonna treat, first you know can meet you now, you can give you coronavirus. And for we will get the habit, we alter within our host, now we get visitor them, now we get stranger, now we all man Sabina area, now we all Sabi full up. Do ya 3 days don't give it opportunity for make we keep with homes, with families, we picking them safe. So you will elect for the get stranger or visitor. For that 3 days, say to the stranger, say to the visitor, do you have for these 3 days and I won't forget any visit. This is not for just me and my family. If we all cooperate as Sierra Leoneans, we can able to stop the spread of coronavirus. We know say the water issue, the light issue, not problem for we all. Not problem for we all. For many years. We're not going able for solve it now these 3 days. We're not going able for solve it now where coronavirus day. In fact, all the gains what we supposed for they make as a country, coronavirus don't come now, it they affect all of them gains that they will be they make. And so even for water supply, electricity, and other critically important services, it get for extremely difficult. But as a government, within the limited resources what we get, we go make sure say we cushion the effect on Sierra Leoneans. Now that's what we achieve in 3 days, and we believe say with the support of we all, and God being we help, we go able to achieve a lot of successes for 3 days, for make we able, what man call for flatten the curve, and for see say the figures begin decline until such a time where Salone self can boldly declare that we have seen the end of coronavirus. Harold.
Okay, Sayo, are you still? Okay. Sayo, your hand was up. Yes. Okay. So any other?
We'll take one more.
Okay. Yes, okay.
My son always asks me when it's going to
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
we'll take the last one for. Yeah.
I just want to know the needed. Tell us about the needed case.
Okay. Thank you. So he's asking about the additional one, not so because we had 7 now is 1. Our understanding is that the 8th death has to do with renal failure, kidney failure, and that this person had been on dialysis 61 years, I think. Our hearts go out to the family and we pray that he will rest in perfect peace. David, you don't ask an important question. And now this question, we respond to this question, I want to end this daily update with today. We're concerned about we picking them. Salone in population, now a little over 7 million. 75% of that population, they below 35 years. And 46% of that 35, they below 15 years. So we need to be serious about protecting the children and the young people in Sierra Leone. With free quality education under the Human Capital Development Cluster in the National Development Plan, we get about 2.6 million people that will benefit from free quality education. Where coronavirus don't come, it forced the closure of schools. We begin to all long go sit on our house, and they continue to ask this question: whose time school go open? Whose time I go continue? I go see me party them for play with again at school. So as a nation, coronavirus don't really affect we in many places. And so we continue for member, if not for any other thing, but for the sake of we picking them. For the sake of the progress of we picking them, because we want to make them be exposed to education for land book and become the engineers, the doctors, the entrepreneurs, the teachers, the accountants, the agriculturists tomorrow, the scientists, the medical doctors, the lawyers. We want to begin and forget that opportunity there. As long as coronavirus continue, it will deprive them of that opportunity. So me fumble them is very important. Now I make for 3 days of nationwide lockdown. If not for any other thing, but we'll just remember we begin and we will get. That we go use these 3 days for educate them. That we go use these 3 days for stop the spread of COVID-19. So that sooner rather than later, we begin and go get an opportunity for go to schools again. And with this, we want to tell you now all plenty turkey. Lord, continue for pray for we healthcare workers. Lord, continue for pray for the one them the way they do the psychosocial. Lord, continue for pray for the one them who don't test positive and they get treatment. And even the one that were in quarantines, that life will be better soon for all of us. God richly bless you. Thank you.